If you're flying to China and you think you'll just download a VPN when you get there, you're already too late. The App Store blocks them. The websites are gone, and by the time you land, your options are basically zero. I tested this so you don't have to find out at the airport. Now, there are some links in the description if you want to grab the one that I ended up using before your trip. But here's the part nobody tells you until it's too late. China doesn't just block websites, it blocks the VPNs themselves. The Great Firewall uses something called deep packet inspection. It can spot normal VPN traffic and kill the connection instantly. So, most VPNs you'd use anywhere else in the world just sit there spinning, connecting, failing, connecting again. That's why the setup you do before you fly matters more than which VPN you pick. So let me back up here a bit. When I first started planning this, I figured any decent VPN would do the job. It doesn't. The reason is the download problem. Once you're inside China, the Apple App Store switches to the Chinese region and most VPN apps disappear from it entirely. Now, Google Play barely works and the VPN websites themselves are blocked, so you can't even go grab the installer. Now, if you don't have the app on your phone before you cross the border, you're stuck with whatever the local network lets through, which is nothing. That's the first rule. Install it at home, log in at home, test it at home. Get connected before you fly. But installing it is only half of the battle. The bigger issue is whether the connection actually holds once you're on Chinese networks. And this is where most VPNs crumble. See, the thing that keeps a VPN alive in China is obfuscation. That's a feature that disguises your VPN traffic so it looks like normal HTTPS web browsing instead of a tunnel. Without it, deep packet inspection flags you in seconds. This is the exact reason I lean on NordVPN here. It has a protocol called Nord Whisper, and it's built specifically to hide VPN usage on restricted networks, which, that's not a marketing line. It's the difference between a page that loads and a page that hangs forever. Now, on top of that, NordVPN runs a strict no logs policy that's been independently audited 5 separate times. So there's genuinely nothing stored to hand over. And the kill switch means that if the connection ever drops, your internet cuts instead of leaking your real location. The Chinese government won't find you. But quick heads up, I'm an affiliate for the VPNs that I mentioned. So if you grab one through my link, it really helps the channel to stay alive and helps me keep making these. So thanks, guys. Anyways, the obfuscation gets you connected. Great. Except there's a catch that trips people up mid-trip. And it's the reason I always travel with a second option. So here's what happens. China constantly hunts down and bans VPN server IP addresses. So the server that worked perfectly on day 1 can go dead on day 4. When your main server dies, you need 2 things: a VPN with enough servers to switch to a fresh one, and a backup provider entirely in case your first one has a bad week. Now, NordVPN covers the first part with thousands of servers, so when one gets blocked, you just reconnect to another and you're back in. Now, for the backup, I keep TotalVPN installed. It's cheap, it runs on Hotspot Shield's infrastructure, and it gave me a working fallback the one time my primary server got throttled. Now, 2 apps, 2 providers, so you're never stuck with 0 option in a country where you can't download a replacement. So anyways, after testing this properly, here's what I land. If you're going to China, NordVPN is the one to set up before you leave. It has the obfuscation that you actually need with Nord Whisper, the server count to dodge IP bans, and the audited no logs policy, and the kill switch to keep your real location hidden if anything drops. That's the complete package for a place where the network is actively fighting you at all times. Now, TotalVPN isn't as fast and its jurisdiction is weaker, but as a cheap second app that gives you a fallback if your main server dies, it earns its spot here in the list. But what it's not is your only VPN. Treat it as the backup, not the main. Now, if you're setting this one up, use NordVPN through the link below to get 74% off plus 3 free months, and it's where I got the deal. And also, I dropped TotalVPN's 80% off link there too as your backup. Just remember, both have to be installed and test them before you fly, because the one thing you can't do is download either of them once you're behind the Great Firewall of China.